What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I finally got my hands on update 2.3 for XDefiant. You know, I went ahead, grinded it out on the live stream, and of course, we will be streaming it again today. So if you guys missed out on the other stream and you still want to see my impressions of this and see us further test everything, by all means, tune in today. We will be starting probably around like 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And, you know, we obviously stream over on Twitch. I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But to start off this video, before I really deep dive into all the good stuff, you know, the reason why I'm really liking this update, I have to mention a couple of things that I am a tad bit concerned about that made me a bit sad when this update dropped. First and foremost, the audio. Last time I checked, I think I saw this correctly. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I made multiple videos about it. But the dev said that in 2.3, we can expect some audio changes, audio fixes after they went ahead and rearranged everything. And at the same time, they extended the update. They made the update longer. We were supposed to get this one on the 23rd or something like that, and instead we got out on the 30th. So I was expecting, you know, honestly, everything to be here. I'm going to be real. I was expecting everything to be here, but we did not get any audio changes. Realistically, the only audio change that we got that was meaningful was the Echelon suit. Basically, they did do a stealth buff to the suit. I thought I was going crazy, but apparently they did, because they claimed that they went ahead and made the footsteps silent alongside, you know, being invisible. So now when you're, you know, invisible, you can still hear the footsteps. You're going to still, you know, be just as loud. So they stealth buffed that previously, but they fixed it and brought it back to, you know, its former glory of how it should be. But again, when it comes to the overall audio, I haven't really seen anything. And again, I don't really mind that much because I've gotten used to the audio how it is now, and I've been just kind of going with the flow of it, and I can still play the game. It's not a game changer. It's not like the game is horrible or anything like that because of the audio. I can still push on through, but like I said, I was expecting that, and I was also expecting the Phantom bubble fix, or, you know, the ultimate for the Phantom. I didn't see anything in there. Maybe they fixed it. I haven't tried the Phantoms yet, but I didn't see anything in the patch notes addressing that the Phantoms were going to be, you know, resolved. Basically, whenever you pull out the ultimate, the weapon that you have is so just bad. It's not accurate. You never land your shots, even if they're right in the circle, right in your crosshairs, and you fire. No damage will be, you know, basically done, which is really obnoxious. And they said that they were looking into that, and I was hoping it would be with 2.3, but sadly, it simply didn't make it into this update either. So now, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, like I said, there are a couple of things I was sad about, but overall, I would say this update is a pretty dang good one. It was a beefy boy. First and foremost, I want to talk about the weapon changes here. They went ahead and nerfed the AK and the ACR, changing the rate of fire. I'm not even going to bother saying that much about it. I'm just going to leave this gameplay here for you guys. You guys can watch the full footage and see with your own eyes how the ACR still performs, and the AK pretty much performs exactly like this ACR. To shorten it, yes, they're still phenomenal. I think the main reason they did this is because when you add a rapid-fire barrel or muzzle booster onto an ACR AK, it basically just becomes too dominant of a gun at all ranges, where, you know, if you're up close and personal, you should be probably prioritizing the LVOAC or the MDR, but you know, you didn't really have to, because you could turn the ACR into the LVOAC or, you know, the MDR. Or you could turn the AK basically into, you know, the MDR LVOAC. Maybe not as fast as the fire rate, but seriously, the damage of an AK with having a rapid fire muzzle, you know, just making it shoot extremely fast, you know, that right there is OP. So they decreased the fire rate of both these weapons, not by a lot actually, because again, when I hopped on, you could notice it. You could definitely notice a change when it comes to the weapons. But overall, it's not so drastic that, you know, it pissed me off. I was not pissed off whatsoever. You know, the guns were perfectly fine. They weren't damaged whatsoever. I was worried because you guys know me. I don't really like when developers go in and nerf weapons over buffing other guns up around them. But I think that this was a necessary, you know, nerf here, because let's be real here. No matter what they do to the other assault rifles, the ACR and the AK and the M16 are all going to be stupidly dominant. And I think reducing the fire rate to allow other ARs to shine with their fire rates is the best bet. And at the same time, like I said, it does not kill the gun at any sort of range. You'll see in this gameplay right here, this footage, that it just demolishes at all ranges that I get into engagements with. So overall, in this update, when it comes to weapons, I think this is huge. I think the variety in ARs are going to be phenomenal. I'm seeing a lot more LVOACs, a lot more M4s, and it's great because before, all I saw was ACRs and AKs. So I think it's already starting off, you know, good here. And secondly, another thing about the weapons I want to mention to you guys that is absolutely massive about this update, Objective XP finally transfers over to Weapon XP. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that correctly. We've been waiting a long time for Objective XP to finally count towards our skins and stuff like that. But now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is here. You can go to Domination, Occupy, CTF. It doesn't matter what game would you go and play. You're going to be able to get additional XP towards your weapons for simply playing the objective, which is huge because, as we all know, XDefiant is definitely an OBJ game, okay? It's a reason Team Deathmatch did not launch with XDefiant on day one, because this game is not made for Team Deathmatch in any way, shape, or form. It's made for OBJ play. So to be able to actually hop into an OBJ game mode, grind out my camos, and have a good time is just massive for me. It's going to be a breath of fresh air, and I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air for a lot of other players out there as well. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least for the weapons here, the Pyroclastic Camo finally works across the board for all weapons. If you don't know or didn't know beforehand, it only worked for Season 1 weapons and Season 2 weapons, okay? So if you had anything from the preseason like the MDR or any of the other base weapons like the M4, AK, ACR, you could not put the new camo on those weapons. But finally, it is in the game. If you get it at level 500 and you did all the other challenges to go ahead and accomplish it, you may now equip the Pyroclastic Camo. And let me tell you, it looks absolutely outstanding on a lot of these weapons. I'm extremely happy with it. And I'm going to try to continue the grind for the rest of the weapons now, especially since it works across the freaking board. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, these smoke grenades got introduced into XDefiant as well. Guys, these work so well. First and foremost, they disable the aim assist. If you have spotter bots around you, sentries around you, you can hide in the smoke. It also fogs up the minimap as well, so if enemies are taking a occupy zone, or if they're on a domination B flag, instead of using the smoke grenade as kind of cover for you to move to the objective, or maybe cut off a line of sight from the enemies, you can use it to just put it right on the B flag, or right on the occupy zone, and then their minimaps are gone. They can't see anything. You can shoot as much as you want, you can do whatever you need to do, and they won't be able to see what's going on. It's actually really cool, and it plays nicely into XDefiant. I knew it was going to play nicely. I said this a while ago, but I'm like, yo, for me personally, when it comes to OBJ game modes, smoke grenades are some of the best things you could possibly have in any game you could think of. And this game, once again, as I said already, is heavily OBJ based. These smoke grenades were going to be popping. And guess what? They are indeed popping. So if you haven't completed that challenge to unlock them already, I highly suggest doing so. You have to go to your progression tab and go to the devices or whatever challenges, and you can see how to complete it from there. Also, ladies and gentlemen, another fantastic thing that I saw on this list that was phenomenal through my gameplay session here was the quick play button. And let me tell you guys, it made the experience so much better. As we all know, it's pretty bugged within the matchmaking. It's hard to find things because whenever you select a solo game mode, you're kind of put into a different, list than everybody else who selects more than one game mode. But now with the quick play option, it's going to put you into the fastest lobby. No more waiting for long queue times, and I still get very good connection when I pick the quick play, button. I was worried that was going to put me off in Europe or Central, all this stuff 24/7 if I pick quick play. But no, I was pretty much Eastern consistently. I think I got Europe one time in about a 5-hour play session, which is extraordinarily impressive. So honestly, I think the quick play button is a fantastic addition and something that was really needed to encourage players to, be able to not only find more, people, but also get them to play different game modes, get them out of their TDM mindset or, only try everything. Escort, zone control, domination, occupy. Enjoy the whole game. There's also maps that are designated to zone control and escort. So, if you don't play those modes, you miss out on a ton of different maps as well. So please, give them a go. The quick play launcher works perfectly right now. The Highwaymen also got tweaked a little bit. Now, there are other changes within this update here, but I'm just going over the biggest things that I've noticed and also during my play session that I was able to test out. Everything else that I don't mention, I don't really, it is what it is. But the Highwaymen, they fixed up the problem where, basically the saw blades were killing you in your second life. So if you spawned in, you would insta-die from a saw blade, even though it wasn't actually there, which is great news. But sadly, I still hear people running into the issue where what happens again? Something happens. Either the game crashes or something goes crazy. If you spam through all your saws in the, the ultimate, something wacky happens. Now, I've heard this, mentioned time and time again. I've never personally had it happen to me, but it's causing a lot of issues for players, and people are still saying it's not fixed after this update, so hopefully the developers can figure out the core problem to why, that is actually occurring. But last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, because again, there are some other things, but not really things that I'm not going to hyper-focus the majority. If you guys want to check out the patch notes, you are all welcome to check out the patch notes during your own time. But the biggest thing here is the netcode. Now, keep in mind, this isn't a massive change here, but it's going to be good for the future of XDefiant. Basically, what they did is they made further reductions to the netcode bandwidth, which, for those who don't know, it's not massive. Now, you might notice some changes to the performance of your game right now, but realistically, this isn't supposed to be a huge change. To explain a little bit further, basically, as we already know, they're trying to transfer packets more fast, right? At a quicker pace to make sure that the combat is more in tune, less trading, more nice and clean gunfights. But before we get to that stage where we can transfer packets faster, they have to continuously reduce the bandwidth. They have to, or it's just simply not going to work out in their favor, and it's going to make things worse. So basically what they're doing here is just prepping up the big fix, which to me personally, I think is going to be coming very, very soon. I'm assuming it's going to be probably update 2.5. I don't think 2.4 is going to introduce the major change here, but I do believe update 2.5 mid-season will more than likely come with, obviously them being able to transfer packets a lot quicker throughout the game. But again, keep that in mind when you read these netcode changes here, because I know a lot of people are going to read this and say, well, it's not too crazy of a change, this is pointless, but in reality, this is needed. So I'm happy to see that they're continuously tugging along here. And honestly, from what I hear from other players, it did improve their experience. But I mean, I don't know if it's the netcode fixes or if it's just the fixes in general to the PC player base. Basically, they also put through multiple different changes for PC to make sure the game is more optimized and runs better. And I've also heard from a lot of other players that their frames are back in action, which is huge. A lot of people dipped out of XDefiant because their frames and performance was absolute crap on PC. Now it's at a better spot, which is once again, absolutely huge. Hopefully that'll bring back a lot of players because I know people have been kind of taking a break until that was overall resolved. But ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the hottest points within this brand new update for XDefiant, and obviously the things that I was able to go ahead and test out for myself. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really clean update. The game felt really crispy and really smooth. The Nerf didn't destroy the AK or the ACR, but it made other guns more relevant. The smoke grenade is a fantastic implementation. It makes the gameplay loop of OBJ, game is really cool. And you don't see EMPs 24/7 all the time nowadays because that's typically all you see, really, man. It's either grenade spam on, one of the hard points, EMP spam, or, I guess now we have smokes in the mix. And it's actually kind of nice to see. Having the quick play, addition, great. Overall, guys, good stuff here. Good stuff. I just really hope that 2.4 will have some more audio changes and the phantom fix. Unless it already got fixed and maybe it was shadow fixed and I don't know, let me know down in the comment section. But overall, those are the things I really want to see up next because I want to use phantoms more, but their ult is just so useless. It really is. Unless your team is just sticking in there with you, you're not going to be able to kill anything. And even if they're sticking in there with you, if someone sneaks around behind you and you're trying to cover their flank, you can't kill them. I'm telling you, it's so freaking useless. I don't want to touch phantoms until it gets resolved. And the audio, although not annoying and not the end of the world, I still think would be a nice addition to bring more players back into the experience. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, go down in the comment section. Let me know if you guys tried out this update, what you guys think of it. Is it good? Is it bad? But if you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Subscribe and hit that bell, guys. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, guys. Literally, we are like less than 200 subs away. It is absolutely mind-boggling. I thank you all for the support you guys show me. And guys, don't forget as well, we will be live today over on Twitch. So if you want to see me test out this, update a little bit further before you check out my next video, by all means, I'm going to be testing it out, making further impressions so I can make more content. You guys can hop in, say hello, vibe out in the chat, and also join the open lobbies while I test further into the update. Whatever you guys are feeling, I got a link to that Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.